What's going on, everyone? My name's Eric, and today we are going to be doing a deep dive on the ultimate Children of Bodom and Alexi Laiho guitar tone plugin suite, which has been brought to us by Half Sun DSP. Half Sun DSP are also today's video sponsor, so I want to give them a huge shout out for sending over all three of the plugin suites that we're going to be talking about today. Half Sun DSP have went down the rabbit hole and they have captured 6 eras of iconic Children of Bodom guitar tone, all the way from Something Wild all the way up to Blood Drunk, and they've also captured the iconic preamps that have been found on Alexi's Jackson and ESP guitars, and they've also captured Henka Seppala's bass tone that was featured all throughout Children of Bodom's discography, and that bass suite pairs very well with the aforementioned plugins that I just mentioned. So with all of that being said, let's hear what a few of these guitar tones are going to sound like in a full demo mix. So now let's dive into the guitar tones, which is going to be the Reaper Suite section of the plugins. So when you open the Reaper Suite, you're going to be getting 6 iconic Children of Bodom and Alexi Laiho guitar tones, which are going to be covering 6 of their most important albums. We're going to have the Red Reaper, which is going to be Something Wild. We also have the Green Reaper, which is Hate Breeder. We have the Blue Reaper, which is Follow the Reaper. We have the Hate Reaper, which is Hate Crew Death Roll. We have the Black Reaper, which is going to be Are You Dead Yet? And I used this preset for all of the guitar tones you heard in the demo track. And then we have the Blood Reaper, which is going to be Blood Drunk. The EQ section is going to be the exact same for the entire plugin. You're going to have a gain, a noise gate, a volume, a presence, and a resonance control. When you first open the plugin, everything is going to be set up to have that exact Children of Bodom guitar tone from that exact album. And you don't have to change anything else, which is super sweet. The resonance and presence controls are there as well, so you can dial the tone in a little bit more if needed. Half Sun DSP has also mentioned that if you're running pickups that are a little bit warmer and darker sounding, you might want to increase the presence to kind of make up for that, as Alexi Laiho ran pickups that were pretty bright and lower output, as he had a couple other gain staging options in his signal chain. There's no other equalizer section that's going to be in this plugin. There's no tuner and there's no cab sim section on this, so what you get is literally exact replica of Children of Bodom guitar tone that we all kind of grew up with. And for me, this is really awesome because I've been trying to chase these guitar tones for a very long time to have a really authentic Children of Bodom style guitar tone. So now let's take the guitar out of the mix and let's hear what all of these different Children of Bodom presets sound like. Alright, so now let's move to the second aspect of the Reaper tone suite, and this is going to be the Reaper Boost. Now, this is a faithful recreation of the onboard preamps that Alexi Laiho used in his guitars. For the Jackson guitars and for the earlier era of Children of Bodom, that was the JE1000 preamp, and that is a preamp that has been long since discontinued. And the one that we're all probably familiar with is going to be the ESP MMO4. And that preamp was on all of Alexi Laiho's guitars outside of a couple of the ones that had the EMG ALX preamp, which is also very close to the ESP MMO4. Now, when we go into the Reaper Boost, you're gonna see it has a lot of different features and a lot of different parameters that you can adjust as well. Right away, you're gonna have the boost function, which is your gain. You're gonna have your output, which is your overall volume. And right in the middle, you're gonna have peak. Peak is kind of like a parametric equalizer, and it allows you to have a wide or a very narrow band of frequency equalization. Right below that is the pickup resonant frequency section, and there are 8 sections of equalization that you can pick from. This section allows you to dial in the resonant frequency based on the selected frequency out of the 8 that Half Sun DSP is going to give you. The red marker indicates the sweet spot for the Alexi Laiho setting, but outside of that you can pick whatever frequency you'd like based on your own preferences. And the last part of this suite is probably my favorite, is the fact that you have some pickup modeling on this. So Alexi Laiho used 2 pickups for the most part. The ones he was most famously known for using was the Jackson JB50C. That was an older pickup made by Jackson Guitars. It was a lower output ceramic PAF style pickup, which he would then combine with that Jackson boost to give him that very articulate sound. Eventually, when he moved over to ESP guitars, he ended up using the EMG HZ-H2 pickup, which he used for quite a long time in conjunction with the ESP MMO4. Now, depending on which one you click on, it will be a dynamic response to the guitar signal that's going in, and the plugin will actually reshape your guitar tone to match that actual pickup that Alexi used, whether it was the Jackson JB50 or the EMG ALX and ultimately the EMG HZ-H2 pickup. So you basically have those iconic pickups right before the tone even happens and before the boost, which is really awesome. I haven't really seen that on too many plugins, maybe on one other plugin, but this is so specific and so niche, and it's such a crucial part of the guitar tone outside of the amplifier itself, and this is a really awesome addition to the plugin. And this is something you can use outside of the Children of Bodom context as well, as it adds so much clarity and depth to your guitar tone, and it's a really unique way of achieving clarity, which is really awesome as well. So now let's hear the preamp, and let's go through a couple of the different parameters on its own. I'm gonna leave the resonant frequency curve at the Alexi Laiho setting, and then I'm gonna mess around with some of the controls so you can hear what this is all about and see how this is gonna affect the guitar tone. And last but not least, we cannot forget about our bass player, so let's dive into the Bass Reaper suite. This one is based on the bass tones from the Are You Dead Yet era. If you want a bit of a reference tone for the bass tones that are coming from this suite, just listen to the song If You Want Peace, Prepare for War. There's a small section where the bass is isolated, and essentially what I've heard from that and what I'm hearing from when I plug into this suite, it's basically the exact same tone, even though I'm using a different bass. And even listening to later Children of Bodom albums and earlier Children of Bodom albums, this bass plugin suite basically covers everything. There's 4 sections to the plugin. The first one is going to be your 7K drive. This is modeled after a high gain bass preamp pedal, either your Tech 21 Sansamp or maybe something like a Dark Glass, both pedals which Henke Sempula used. The next section is the parallel amp model, which blends a guitar amp with 3 levels of distortion into the circuit, and this is a really great way to blend in a lot of extra clarity for your bass tones so nothing gets muddy, especially when you are using distortion. This is a tone trick that's been used by a lot of famous producers for a lot of really awesome albums, and this is also a great way for metal bass players to stand out in the mix. There's also the sub bass section, which adds in more low end as well without the whole section getting too muddy, and then at the very end there is your master output section. All of it runs into a custom IR, which gives you a ready to play and mix ready bass tone right out of the gate. So now let's hear what the plugin's gonna sound like. I'm gonna plug in my Dingwall bass. I'm gonna turn the preamp of that bass off for the first little bit of it. I'm gonna go through all the pickup configurations just to give you an idea of what the plugin is gonna sound like in multiple different pickup configurations. I'm then gonna turn on the internal preamp of my Dingwall bass so then you can hear what an active preamp on a bass guitar sounds like when you're using this plugin. This is something that Henke used with his basses as he ran all active pickups and active preamps with his basses with Children of Bodom. So let's get into it. Alright, so it should be no surprise that I absolutely love this plugin trilogy that Half Sun DSP has been creating and they've sent over to me. I've been having so much fun with the guitar tones. I've just been going down memory lane, now being able to have the guitar tones that I've been chasing for so long, and from when I first started playing guitar, trying to get those iconic Children of Bodom sounds, and now I have it like here at the palm of my hands. I plug in and it's literally right there, which is absolutely mind-blowing. Like, the attention to detail on how good these guitar tones are is mind-boggling. I've gone down the YouTube rabbit hole trying to find all of the isolated Children of Bodom guitar tones. I play along to those songs with this plugin and it's dead on accurate. It's crazy. Even in a mix of like playing to the actual songs off the album, it's dead accurate as well. And sponsorship aside, I would totally buy this thing without, any sort of affiliation. I also gotta say the Reaper Boost is so amazing as well, because this is the first time that I've really seen a guitar preamp, like an onboard preamp, cloned for the digital workstation or like into like a plug-in VST format. Of course, we're gonna see the amplifiers. We might see like a tube screamer or like some of the other famous pedals that some of our other favorite guitar players have used, but I haven't really seen a guitar preamp, and this is so unique and I haven't seen anyone else do it. It sounds awesome as well. It's a very unique way of like boosting the front end and shaping the tone. I feel like there's so much flexibility within this plugin itself. It just kind of makes me want to try with other sorts of plugins as well, and I think I'm gonna do that as well. just to see what kind of tones I'm gonna get. So I'll do another video later on, so please stay tuned for that. Even the bass VST, this one sounded awesome as well. It was mixed ready to go. I didn't have to do anything to it. I ended up using a bass player in Contact, and this was the amplifier of choice, so I had a MIDI bass VST going on to play the bass line in the demo track. This whole mix that I made basically just sounded like Are You Dead Yet era Children of Bodom, which was what I was going for, and it's right there. It sounds like Children of Bodom. And I can also take these plugins anywhere as well, which is so awesome because, again, they are plugins. And if you have a laptop, you can just take this around the world with you, which is so sweet. All of these plugins are very reasonably priced as well, and they're currently at an introductory price. So the guitar suite is actually at 59 USD. The preamp is 30 USD, and the bass Reaper suite is at 49 USD. When you buy all three of those together, that is very affordable for getting that signature Alexi Laiho guitar tone by comparison to actually getting the old analog gear, which you also have to maintain and find the proper jam space to adequately use it all. So if you want to get these plugins onto your DAW, I'm gonna leave a link down below. I'm gonna leave my discount code as well, which is Eric10. Use that at checkout. You can get a bit of a discount. I get a little bit of a kickback. Anything that I make from this is gonna go right back into the channel as well to bring you the best Children of Bodom style content that you can imagine. With all that being said, this has been awesome. I've had a great time with the plugins, and I want to say a huge shout out to Half Sun DSP and James over at Half Sun. Thank you again so much for sending this over. This has been an absolute blast, and I've had an awesome time with the product, and yeah, hats off. This absolutely sounds amazing, and it's been a blast, and I can't wait to write some more music with it. If this is your first time checking out one of my videos, make sure you hit like and subscribe. Let me know your favorite Children of Bodom album guitar tone down below as well. And if you are a returning subscriber, make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss a single video that I upload. Thanks for checking this out, and I'll see you next time.